Let us close the eyes for a moment. We'll chant a prayer together. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May God protect us all. May God nourish us with wisdom and knowledge. May we grow in understanding and harmony. May there be no discord among us. May there be more love and peace within and everywhere. I humbly bow to one formless God. I bow to all the saints and sages of all times and places. I bow to lineage of Kriya Yoga masters, feeling presence of divine in each one of you. I bow to you all. Good morning and welcome to our discussion. So don't think that I have brought laptop means I am going to do some presentation, because that's a common notion. Sometimes people think that means there will be some presentation. It happens, but not today. Similarly, I remember once I was in Colombia. I have been going there in Latin American countries since 2007. So in one class I began, I said, there was a man, and everybody started laughing, anticipating that I am going to tell a joke. But I was going to talk something very serious. So, however, in this retreat, we are discussing on a book written by Sri Guruji, Life and Values, which is a very beautiful book for everyone. Life and values, as a human being, we have both. We have life, we also have values. So you can say that life, everybody has life, like plants, animals, birds, insects, they all have life. Then what is the difference? The simple difference is that animals or birds, insects, they live by instinct. They do not have much choice. But as a human being, we have choice. We know what is good, what is not good. We know what we should do, what we should not do. Animals do not have. So this question of value doesn't come with reference to animals or other species on the earth planet. But with human beings, of course, yes. Human life is based on value. If our life has no value system, we are also like animals. What are these values? These are the guiding factors in our life which make us different from other species. Of course, there are some traits or some basic urges which are common in other species like animals and humans, but humans are far superior just because we have a value system. We know what to do and we can make things much better. We have choices. However, I remember that once Shri Gurudev said, someone said that I am a human being, and we often tell it. We identify, we say that we are human beings and we are the best creation of the Creator. But Gurudev said that first Before you say you are human being, first you declare that you are not animal. What does it mean? Although we are human beings, but we still carry lots of impressions, lots of our old negative habits from many past lives, and those are the qualities or tendencies which are animalistic. For example, anger. Many of us, we suffer because of anger. Anger is not human quality, anger is animalistic quality. If you see serpent, cobra or various animals, they become angry, they fight. But human beings, we also follow the same. That is why this value we are discussing, that what makes us different from them, these values. However, so discussion since going on from previous classes, I will not go too much into that. My topic given to me is from this book is there are 4 values in today's class: steadiness, fearlessness, equanimity and absence of ego. In Sanskrit they are fearlessness is abhaya, steadiness is stharyam, equanimity is samachittatvam and absence of ego is anahankara. Okay. However, so these 4 values we will try to understand today and see where we are standing and what we need to improve in our lives. So, let us say first is abhaya. Abhaya, this word, the original word is bhaya. Bhaya means fear. Do you have fear or not? We all have some fear. Each person has different, not that we have same fear. One common fear we all have, but there are many different types of fear. So, abhaya, means not, bhaya means fear. So, the quality is fearlessness, to be free from fear. So, the first question is, we all have fear, we admit it, yes? We have fear. Now, the question is, abhaya means to be free from fear. What is that state of freedom from fear and how do we achieve that? So, fear, what is the definition of fear? Let us say when we write fear in English, so there are 4 letters F-E-A-R, right? F-A-A-R-A. So, fear simple meaning is fearless, you can say we are afraid of something, but fear, if you think about these letters, so it is like we can take in 2 different perspectives, positive and negative. So, positive aspect of fear is forget everything and run. Okay. F-E-A-R, forget everything and run. This is one aspect. Okay. This is negative aspect, means when you feel fear, you forget everything and you run. And same letters, if you think about a positive perspective, then it is, you can say, face everything and rise. Okay. Face everything and rise. So, now think, we have fear, but how do we interpret and utilize it? Do we face everything and rise above the situation, above the limitations, or we are forgetting everything and running away from the situation? So, that is what is fear. Another definition, F-E-A-R, you can say false evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. In life, there are so many things happening which we imagine, we presume, and sometimes most of the things are not real, they are unreal, but we imagine a lot, and those things create more fear in us because of our own imagination. That is why false evidence appearing real. I'll tell you how. Have you heard the name of a realized master from another lineage? His name is Swami Shivom Tirtha from Shaktipad Diksha, Shivom Tirtha. So, in his book, he has written about one incident from his childhood. He is narrating that how the fear works or how we create fear in ourselves. Remember, there are two types of fear, internal and external fear. External fear is, suppose we are afraid of cobra, afraid of mosquito, afraid of dog, afraid of tiger. With tiger, I remember when I was 3 years old, so my parents wanted to take my picture, so we went to studio. And I am talking about India in those days, 1972. We didn't have color picture, so it was black and white picture, you had to go to studio. So they took me to studio with all, decoration and I am sitting there for picture, and nearby me there was a tiger toy. It's like big toy, tiger. Just looking at that tiger, I was crying because I was so afraid of that, thinking it was real tiger. That was at the age of 3. And in 2012, I was in Argentina, Buenos Aires. So I visited a zoo, and I was playing with real tiger cub in my lap. Also, the lion. I was patting and feeding milk, 7 years old big lion. I have videos also. But no fear at all. I could go easily. So this is, however, coming back to this Swami Shivam Tirthaji's incident, he was in job at that time. He finished his education and started a job. So one day, evening time before they were leaving, his friends suggested there is a very nice movie and we should go and watch it. So he said, no, I have to go back to home. So, friends always have some peer pressure. No, we should go. So they forced him. And in those days, even in my childhood, we did not go outside or do anything without asking our parents. At least if not getting permission, we will inform them. And definitely they say yes, because there is always a trust. So Swami Shivam Tirthaji, he had no time, and he thought that if I ask my parents, they may not be allowing me. However, there was so much pressure from the friends that he went to watch the movie. Now, the movie is like evening show. So he is watching, and it was too late when he returned home. He was watching the movie, but his mind was not there. All the time thinking what my parents would be thinking. I did not take their permission. However, watching the movie, and then when he left, when he reached home, he had this fear. External fear I told, internal fear, when we commit a mistake or we do something which is against the discipline, then we create fear. This is internal fear. That means if we do something wrong, although we think that nobody is watching us, nobody knows about it, but within our mind we know. So we get the fear also, if people know about it, what will happen? This is the fear, internal fear. So he had this fear, what my parents would do. They will scold me, they will give me some punishment. So all these thoughts were going on in his mind while watching the movie also. However, he reached home, he did not have courage to go inside. So he was just standing outside the door, thinking, how should I approach? How to go? What to do now? Definitely my father must be very angry at me. Why did you go late? You did not take my permission, and so on. He was standing there and he heard some voice. His father and mother, they are discussing. Mother is telling, and he was hearing. Mother is telling his father, it's too late. Now you should take food. You have been waiting for him. He must be in the office, some work must be there, don't delay. And his father is telling, no, 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 I will still wait for him. We will take food together, as that was the custom. And mother is telling that he will come, don't worry. He said, when he comes today, I will tell him to leave this job, find a new job. It's not good for his health to work late night. See, the thoughts, the father is concerned about his goodwill or his health. And when he is hearing this, he thought, oh God, what I was thinking and what my father is telling. Then he just knocked and opened, door was opened. His father hugged him and said, why are you so late? Don't go tomorrow, the same job, find another job. It's not good for you. And he was almost in tears. And then he admitted, he said, Dad, I am not late because of my work. I went to watch a movie because my friends, they told me to come and I did not take your permission. Do you know what happened? His father just looked at him, he said, no problem, next time when you go, just let me know. And this situation completely diffused. So then he writes that how much fear I created in my own mind, but it was not real. So this is what happens when I said false evidence appearing real. We create internal fear thinking it might be this or so, it's more imagination. So this is another problem with us. However, fear is an emotion. So don't worry, we all as a human being, we have emotions. And there are different types of emotions. If you heard Sri Gurudev many times, he emphasized there are 50 types of breath. Out of them, 49 breaths give you restlessness. Only one breath gives you calmness, and that's the breath you experience or feel when you enter in Paravastha. Just slow, feeble breath. That is the breath of calmness. So, different types of emotions we go through in our day-to-day life. So, fear is also an emotion. So, nothing to worry, it is an emotion and it will change. But what happens that we nurture this emotion and we hold on to those imaginary fears in our life and we make our life more miserable. External fear we understand, we can clarify. Suppose if we are afraid of ghost, thinking that there is a ghost, we had that fear in our childhood also. Swami Shri Yukteswarji, he was told when he was child, he was told that don't go into that room. There was another room, don't go to that room. Why? When he asked as a child, there is a ghost. So what he did, instead of being afraid of that, he went into that, searched everywhere and came back and I searched there was no ghost. So don't be afraid, it is just emotion and emotions constantly change. As we are breathing, with each disposition or breath, you can see your mind is fluctuating in different types of emotions. So emotions can be controlled, changed and completely you can remain in the state of calmness. So nothing to worry, it's a common feeling. It is also basic urge, we are fearful. Basic urge, why? Because if you read Mahabharata, there is a beautiful verse there, in which it is said there are 4 basic urges which are common to animals as well as human beings. Ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithunam cha, samanam etat pashubhi naranam. Ahar, taking food or feeling hungry, it is common. Then nidra, animals sleep, we also sleep. Bhaya, we become fearful, animals also have fear. And maithuna, procreation, that is, so these 4 are common, but the value system makes us different from animals. However, there are some people who are afraid of snakes. There are some people who are afraid of cockroaches even. There is a funny thing I will tell you. Last month I was in Ecuador. So I visited, for programs, I visited one center, it is in Quito. And during one dinner time, the host asked me that I have something special for you. So I ate, and then I called my sister just to make fun. I called my sister and I said that, you know what happened today in the dinner, I ate cockroach. She said, what? How could you do that? Was it a mistake? Was it inside the food? How could you eat cockroach? I said, I ate cockroach. Are you joking? I said, no, I ate. She was really serious. Sarvatmananji takes us. Then said, don't get upset, but I'll send you a picture. When I sent the picture, it was a bread. Bread with chocolate, and it was nicely decorated just like a big cockroach. And the name of that bread is, or you can say it's like a pastry. The name of bread is cucurocho. But I created fear in her that I ate cockroach. So both are internal and external fear. Remember, everything has some fear. In Vairagya Shatakam, there are 100 verses written by sage Bhartrhari on detachment. So there is a beautiful verse, I think it's verse number 31. There he is talking about that everything has some fear. Suppose a person has a position, some status. So there is fear of losing that status. You can see now politicians. They don't want to lose their status, their own power. One who has power has fear of losing power. Fear of losing beauty. People want to look good always. That's why there is good business of cosmetics. People have education, lots of knowledge, so they have fear that somebody might challenge them, that I know better than you. So everything has some fear. And the biggest fear in life is fear of death. And that's quite natural, because those who are born, sometimes, someday they have to depart from this physical body. So it's quite natural thing, but still we are fearful. It is truth of life that we are here, one day we have to leave. But we are still afraid of death. Nobody wants to die. It is just a process. And after death, again there will be some birth if we are not realized. So what is wrong? We change one old clothes, we discard it and we put on the new clothes. That is what is described in Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter. But still we are afraid. There is fear of enemies. Maybe somebody is creating some trouble and conspiracy. So we have always some fear. However, so sage Bhartrhari says that only those who have detachment, they are free from fear. However, let me quickly come to what we can do. It's you can read more details about these values in that book, Life and Values, but I can give some tips. What are the actual causes of fear? If we think about the cause, then we can try to address those causes and become free from fear. The two main causes of fear, one is ignorance. Again, what is ignorance? We don't know the reality and we imagine or we assume something. Then second cause is attachment and insecurity. Whenever we feel insecure, that's where we get this feeling of fear. And attachment, because when we are attached to something or someone, we don't want to lose. We don't want to lose a relationship. We don't want to lose our body. We don't want to lose our power or position. So attachment to anything creates fear. And second is insecurity. But both are related to ignorance. We don't know that this body is impermanent. Everything in this changing world is impermanent. Except God, except the soul, everything is changing constantly. But we think this body is going to live forever. That's why we are too much attached with the body and we have fear of death. However, what to do with fear? we have fear, how to deal with fear? 3 things we can practice to deal with fear. One is develop confidence. Develop confidence, because when we are not confident about anything, then we feel low, and that's where fear comes to mind. So have that confidence. What is that confidence? That, look, I am capable, I can deal with any situation, I can change it. So have that confidence. Any problem happens or whenever you feel fear, I can change it, because that is not my nature. Fear is not my nature, I will change it. Second thing, trust in God. When we trust in God, then there is no question of fear. Trust in God, I will tell you one simple incident. In my childhood, I had fear of dogs also, because when I was very little, some dog was chasing me and almost got me. But that incident created fear for maybe couple of years, and when I told it about this fear, so my mother told me that there is nothing to worry. When you feel fear, you can chant name of Lord. And at that time, it was Lord Hanuman, Hanuman Chalisa. Why? Because Lord Hanuman is always present, and he is the one who comes immediately to protect you, and it is truth. He is there. He never left his body. He is one of the 8 immortals. So I chanted that, and can you imagine that I was completely free from fear, because I felt that I am not alone. So this is where trust in God comes. We are not really alone. Even as a spiritual seeker, we are talking about the fear, but even in spiritual life there is fear. Do you know what is the fear? We get this question very often. What is the fear? When you are going deeper into paravastha in your meditation, sometimes you feel as if you are going to leave the body. This fear comes. Am I going to leave the body? And suddenly you come back to body consciousness, your meditation is broken, and you get fear. So this is a spiritual fear, but let me tell you that so far in the history, nobody has died while meditating. Isn't it comfortable? No one has died while meditating. Yes, when the advanced saints and sages or realized masters, when they wanted to leave the body, they meditated and then left the body. But while meditating, you are not going to leave the body. So don't worry about that. What to do if that fear comes? Still it comes. So what Guruji has suggested and other masters, they have always told, when you begin your meditation or any spiritual practice, first we pray to God and Gurus. Both are omnipresent. In our lineage, when we start our practice, we concentrate in the chakras and we remember the masters. Many times people ask, why do we remember masters? So difficult to remember their names even. Especially for the Westerners, it is difficult in the beginning. We remember them just because we invoke them. They are present with us, they are watching us, and in their presence we are practicing. That means we are completely protected. So no negative thoughts will come. Even if the thoughts come, they will take care of that. So that's why we pray to them when we concentrate in the chakra and then we meditate. So this fear of losing the body at the time of deep meditation, it will go away. If we pray to masters, they will take care of it. In spiritual life, it happens very often. Another fear in spiritual practice, fear of losing our blissful state. Do you have that? Yes. You are meditating very nicely in deep meditation. You are enjoying paravastha, going beyond everything, and you don't want to come out of that, which is fine. But you slowly start developing this, I don't want to lose that blissful state. You are not going to lose it, you have to maintain it. What you experience during paravastha, you have to continue that with open eyes when you are in the world. So that's why you have heard from Sri Guruji very often that Kriya meditation is 24-hour meditation. It's not just with closed eyes. With closed eyes for 1 hour, 2 hours we meditate, but this meditation continues. So, it is meditation with open eyes. That means feeling presence of God, which is bliss, ananda, the same blissful state in paravastha, you continue. It will come with regular and continuous practice. However, so trust in God. Why? Because God is omnipresent. Do you think that the God who has brought you in this world will leave you to suffer? He cannot, because we are children of God. Can any parents feel or do that my child should suffer? They will never think. If child is suffering, child has a problem or fear or anything, parents will immediately do something. They will take action. So, God, who is father of all, who is mother of all, we say, Tvameva Matasha Pita Tvameva. Do you think that God will leave us to suffer in this world? We are suffering because of our own problems, our own karma or action, but still God is helping us. So, when we believe in God, that God is omnipresent, then what is the question of fear? Why? If God is even, can you believe that God, we say that God is here, we feel presence of God. Even when we are sleeping, God is omnipresent, God is present with us in every single breath, it is presence of God. And fortunately, we think that we are breathing, but fortunately God has not given this responsibility of breathing to us. He has taken this responsibility that you take rest, but I will breathe within you, because we are so forgetful. Maybe in deeper state of sleep, we forget to breathe and we will not be here anymore. So God said, don't worry, I take that responsibility, I will breathe on your behalf, you take rest. So even in sleep, God is with us. Then why do we become afraid of anything in the world? God is, so trust in God. Third is be content. When we are not content, then we run here and there, I want this, I want that. Do your best. Remember, do your best, perform your duties well. As per your capacity, put your 100% effort in whatever you want to do and leave the result to God. Be content with that. So, be content not with the effort. Sometimes we mistake. We make a mistake of, it is said be content, so we don't need to do anything. Be content with the result whatever comes, not with the effort. With effort, don't be content. Put best, I can do best, I can do more. But don't be attached to the result for that. So, if you are content with the result, then you will not be fearful. However, these three things we can try to follow. If I go on discussing, probably it will become a retreat. It is a retreat actually for 6-7 classes, this one value even. And let us quickly complete our class. So, next is called steadiness. In my class today, steadiness is sthairya. Sthairya, this word in Sanskrit is coming from root word stha. Stha means to stay, stable, stay. Many other meanings also are there, like wait, to stop, to exist. However, sthairya, simple meaning of sthairya, steadiness. Let us think, are we steady in our effort? For example, we got initiated into Kriya Yoga. We are told to practice every single day. So, is our practice steady or on and off? So, this is one aspect to bring steadiness in our effort, in our practice. While practicing also, steadiness, there are two aspects here. When we are sitting for meditation, is our body steady? Sometimes it is not. You know what happens when we are trying to sit in a still posture, which we are supposed to, because we are supposed to go beyond body consciousness, elevate our consciousness beyond body, mind, everything. That is why all the Kriya practices or techniques, if you see, they are internal practices. Even Mahamudra, we are not opening the eyes and looking here and there like exercise. It's still we keeping attention, 30% attention on top of the head. From there we are watching and practicing simultaneously. So, all internal practices. Why? To bring discipline to the body. If the body is steady, then it is also connected with the mind, your mind will be steady. But usually during Kriya practices or any spiritual practice, we face two problems. The mind is not steady and body is not steady. Body is not steady means, suppose we are sitting in one posture and after 10, 15, 20 minutes we feel pain in the knees. We feel itching somewhere. Sometimes we feel urge to look what is happening around or who is going or passing by. That means our body is also not steady and mind also is restless. So this restlessness, how to take care of that? To bring steadiness, just opposite. So how to do that? For that we practice certain techniques. To make our body steady, we have bow, we have Mahamudra, we have concentration in the chakras to go inside. And to make our mind steady, we have Kriya Pranayam, we have Khechari Mudra, we have Shambhavi Mudra, open eye meditation. These are all helping our mind to pacify, to reduce the thoughts and be more steady, more focused. So this is Sthir. There is one beautiful verse like in Jnana Sankalini Tantra, you can find its verse number 14. It speaks about Khechari Mudra. So you will find this word Sthir there. What is that definition of Khechari Mudra? In Jnana Sankalini Tantra it says, Manaha sthiram yasya vina avalambanam. Mana sthiram yasya vina avalambanam. Vayu sthira yasya vina avarodhanam. Drashti sthira yasya vina avalokanam. Sa eva mudra vicharanti khechari. It's a definition of Khechari Mudra. What is Khechari Mudra? When it is a state, a posture when mana sthira vina avalambanam, where mind becomes steady without any support. Why it is said vina avalambanam? Because the nature of mind is restlessness. By nature, mind is always restless. You cannot hold it. You cannot hold your mind except when you are in a deeper state of meditation or in deep sleep, where you go beyond this conscious mind, but in that also subconscious mind is active. So it's very difficult. So avalamban means support. Mind always needs some support. Mind cannot move. So what is the support? There has to be some object, there has to be some concept, some idea, some thought. So that's the object, that is the support. Mind moves with that support. So when we remove all the supports, then mind becomes steady. And that is what we do with Khechari. Khechari is actually, this word Khechari itself is coming from Kha. Kha means space, formless space, and Khe, in the space. Chari means, it's a feminine, so chari, movement. So movement in the space. Sometimes people think that when we practice Khechari Mudra, we will have some astral travel. This is not the real meaning. Move in the space means you go to formless space. That means thoughtless. You go to that state where there is no more thought. So Khechari Mudra also helps us to take care of our restlessness of mind. So avalambanam, no support. So where the mind becomes steady without any support, that is Khechari. Then Vayu sthira yasya vina avarodhanam, to hold the breath. In the basic techniques of pranayam, what we do? We hold the breath forcefully. So without forcefully holding, when your air or breath becomes steady, that is also happens. That means you are in Khechari Mudra, perfect Khechari Mudra, I would say. When your breath becomes also very steady. And drashti sthira yasya vina avalokanam, without looking anything, that means where gaze becomes still. Your eyeballs are not moving, your look is not going here and there, but it is just still gaze. That is Khechari Mudra also. So That is why we combine our Shambhavi mudra, Khechari mudra, other mudras, pranayam, all do practicing Khechari. So, throughout our techniques we maintain this tongue rolled up, which is Khechari mudra, and we go through all these where our look remains steady, where our breath becomes steady, where our mind becomes steady without any support even. So, that is the state of perfect Khechari mudra. However, the steadiness is required because unless our mind is free from restlessness, our body becomes very disciplined and still, we cannot move further. In the yoga practice, it is said that one has to practice in such a way that one can sit in one posture for at least 3 hours. That is called asana jaya or asana siddhi. That means in one posture without moving your legs or hands, anything, still you can stay in 3 hours. That means you have conquered that pose or posture. So, then you have more discipline on the body and then you can discipline the mind also. How to acquire steadiness? So, Shri Guruji has given some beautiful tips here. The body is changing, but soul is permanent. The world is changing, but God is permanent. Naturally, a spiritual seeker should pay more attention to what is permanent. The duty of a sincere seeker is to be conscious of the soul within and God everywhere. The Lord advises that to cultivate steadiness, we should follow 8 practices. So, that is what Shri Guruji has given here. What are those practices to maintain steadiness or practice it? Number 1, maintain equanimity in all situations, such as success or failure, summer or winter, praise or censure. That means in the pairs of opposite, we face both. We face appreciation, we also face some insult. We see the day, we see also night. So, this creation is creation of duality, but it is impermanent. It is constantly changing. But when we do not understand this impermanence of this world, then we have problem. Our mind moves, because more fluctuation, more restlessness comes when we do not understand this concept that everything is changing. Why should I be disturbed? I should just focus on what I am supposed to do. Second practice is be calmly active and actively calm in every moment. This is what Shri Gurudev's beautiful quote. Shri Gurudev said, be calmly active and actively be calm. That means while you are performing your action, do not be restless, but maintain your composure, calmness. And while you are calm, do not think that in the name of calmness you will become lazy. You should be still productive, you should be active. Active means not physically, but at least in calmness also do not forget God. Then third is be steady in your conduct and steadfast in your wisdom. Be cool and collected. Be faithful in life and relationships. That is also steadiness. Be faithful in life and relationships. Be gradually free from passion. Be steady in your practices. Always have a clear goal in your mind. Without thinking of goal, our practice is not steady. Because when we are focused that yes, this is where I have to go or I have to achieve this. So, keep a target, a goal that I have to practice every day for 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever you decide. So, keep a goal in mind and then practice. Otherwise, what happens when we do not have any goal or target? So, our practice goes on and off. Maybe if I practice today, it is fine. If I do not, what happens? But when you have a target, when you have a goal, you will always pursue that. Like I have worked in sales and marketing before I came to monastic life. So, we had a target. There was quarterly target, there was half yearly, there was even annual target. So, all the time your mind is that I have to do this, I have to achieve it. So, you are active, otherwise we become passive. However, steadiness, you can read more about that. So, we will conclude in shortly. Two more values in my list today. One is anahankara, absence of ego. This is a beautiful topic. We all have that. Again, as we are discussing fear, fear is basic urge. It is an emotion we all have. So, also ego we all have. Ego is an instrument. Ego is neither good or bad. It is just an instrument given to us to survive. There, it is also needed. So long as we have body, we have ego. Because what is ego? The definition of ego is, as per the Tattva Bodh written by Shri Adi Shankaracharya, the definition is aham karta iti ahamkar. Ego in Sanskrit is ahankar. So, aham karta, this notion that I am doing something. So, when this word come I, and it is identified, because we always identify ourselves with the body. That is why it is said, so long as we have body, ego will be there. Very often we take ego as a negative connotation, right? Ego means very bad. Ego is an instrument. Ego also helps us in some situations. Guruji has given an example. What is ego? He said that if you take a soccer ball and when we are putting air in that, the more air, the soccer ball can be kicked to greater distance. So, that is what is ego. The more air is there, it can go to far away distance. Similarly, the more ego you have, you will be tossed from one situation to other. People will kick you from, or this world will kick you from one side to other side. So, ego, and Sri Gurudev, those who have seen Sri Gurudev or spent time with him, Sri Gurudev used to praise people a lot. Sometimes he was praising to increase ego, because we all have ego. So, sometimes Sri Gurudev was appreciating somebody, you are so great, you are like this, you are that. So, that he was bringing ego to a height, and then he will puncture it. Suddenly he will say something and you are, why did he say this? How? This is Guru's job, to make you free from ego. However, what is ego? Ego is also just among the four inner instruments, ego is the instrument. So, do not think it is good or bad, just use it. Use it in positive sense, means decide that I will do something good, because for that also you need ego. I would do charity, but not for me, but for the welfare of other people. If you do not have ego, then will not be active at all, because ego brings activity and individuality also. So, both are fine. For a good purpose, they should be used. But slowly we have to transform this ego. What is happening in our life? Our ego is limited to our own comfort, our own surroundings. It has to change from me to others. So, ego, use it and be free from that. Once somebody had asked Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa about ego, how to take care of ego. So, he said there are two situations. Either you increase your ego to infinity or decrease it to zero. What does it really mean? Increasing ego to infinity is the state where you can declare that you are God. Like Jesus said, I am Son of God. But it was not because of ego. It was he has realized that, and then he said that I am child of God. So, that is the example of infinity. That increase your ego to infinity means be realized and then say that yes, I am God. That is the highest ego. Or zero means I am nothing. I am nothing. Everything means be more humble. So, I am nothing, so I will not be in trouble. But problem with us that we are in between. We are not in between 0 and infinity, we are somewhere, and that is why we are always having trouble, tossed by here to there, somebody is. However, so aham karta iti ahamkara. Ego is just an instrument, use it. There is also another interpretation, pure and impure ego. So again it is very similar, that impure ego means I am doing everything, and pure ego is, you can say that I am instrument of God. There is also I word is there, I am instrument, not that God is doing everything, that is much advanced stage, but still we say I am instrument in the hands of God and Gurus. So there is some element of ego is still there, because I word is there, I am identifying myself, but with God and Gurus, so this is pure ego. So our ego from impure to pure is better, and then from that also I am nothing. Complete freedom from ego. However, so long as we have body, we cannot, because if we do not have ego, that means we do not identify with the body, how can we eat or sleep even? So for eating or sleeping also we have to have this notion that I have this body to take care of. Unless you remain in samadhi state 24 hours and all the time, you cannot be completely free from ego. But that ego is not the ego which is troubling us, which is impure ego in our day-to-day life. It should be purified. Through sadhana, through practice, become instrument and say that I am instrument of God, I am instrument of the Guru. And then further stage that I am nothing. And more you can read, the whole book is there, Freedom from Ego. Guruji has written on this topic also. How to eliminate ego? So some tips are given by Shri Guruji here, I can share with you. Number 1, I will never think of myself as superior. I will never think of myself as superior or better than others. So this is one way to be free from ego. Which ego? Impure ego. Okay? That I am not superior or better than others. I will think that I am nothing and nothing really belongs to me. So if nothing belongs to me, why should I be attached? Why should I be proud of anything? Everything belongs to God. Second thing to practice, my stay in the world is temporary. At any time I may have to leave. 70 years, 80 years, 100 years, how long we will live? But whatever time period we live on the earth, everything is impermanent, nothing belongs to me. So if I have to leave everything, what I can take with me and for what I should be egotistic or proud of? Third practice is, I came to the world with empty hands and I must leave with empty hands, which is truth of life also. When we are born, did we carry anything with us? Even breath, when we come out of the mother's womb, then our breath starts. Before that, mother's breath is sustaining our life in the womb, isn't it? So everything comes later. However, I have not brought anything, and when I leave the body, I cannot take anything with me. There was a beautiful quote about it. Long time ago I had read it. That someone is asking, or let me ask you, what is the first piece of cloth given to us when we are born? As a baby, when we are born, what is the first piece of cloth? Diaper. Hopefully we don't need to use it at the advanced age. That is a big problem otherwise. But that's the first one, diaper to cover. And what is the last piece of cloth given to us when we leave the body? Coffin. What is that? white sheet is given, coffin. Okay. If you think the first and last cloth, when we come to the world, when we leave the world, both the cloths do not have any pocket. Isn't it? They do not have any pocket. But what we do between these two stages, our entire life goes into filling the pockets. Filling with money, filling with name and fame, filling with so many things we just want to put into our pocket, means that our possession. But both the cloths do not have any, that's the thing. When we come with empty hands. When we leave the world, we also go empty handed. So what we earn here will remain here. Only one thing will go with us, that is our good deeds, good karma. What we do, we reap the fruits of our action, so our good action will help us when we come back. Otherwise we cannot take anything. So why should we be egotistic if we cannot take anything, we cannot bring anything? Even this body, the fourth point which Guruji is telling, even this body which is so close to me will not go with me. Ultimately, its end is at the cremation or burial ground. What can even be said about my worldly possessions? Ego comes because of possessions also. I have a car better than yours. I have a better house. I have better education. I am more beautiful, I am more knowledgeable. So all these are ego. Why? Because of possession, sense of possession. So again think about it, that what do we really possess? Nothing. If you remember the first mantra of Ishopanishad, it tells, Ma gradha kasyasvid dhanam. Whose wealth it is? Whatever possessions or wealth or treasures we have, we earn here, we live here. Ultimately everything belongs to God. Nothing belongs to us. The number 5th is, whatever God has given to me in the form of body, mind, intellect, memory, or even material prosperity is for serving others. To become free from ego, think about it, that whatever is given to us or I have earned, it is not for me, it is to serve others. Otherwise, sense of possession and ego will bring you down. Then I should always feel I belong to God and God belongs to me. So keep this attitude that I belong to God and God belongs to me. That means these worldly things I don't possess, they don't belong to me. It is just given to me for the time being, for the benefit of others and for my survival or maintenance only. Then 7th point, to eliminate ego, I should always try to remember my own unworthiness. Of course, we get so many things, but remember, we really don't deserve those things. Unless we are realized, how can we say that we deserve? This is the problem in our human life, that we always feel entitled. We feel that we deserve it. My master, my spiritual mentor told me when I was in college days, a very beautiful quote that I have written in my diary in those days. So still I remember that. He told me one day, we desire, there is nothing wrong in desiring things. Ambitions, we should be ambitious. But remember, first deserve, then desire. He said that without being qualified for something, if you become ambitious, it may not be fulfilled and then you will be in frustration. So first you prepare yourself, you qualify, that means you deserve something and then you desire. You want to be president of the country, then first be qualified for that and then desire that now I want to become president of the country. This example. However, these are the things, that unworthiness, that I really don't deserve it, but out of grace God has given me, out of compassion my master has given me. I really don't deserve it. So if we feel that I don't deserve it, I am privileged because my master, my God has given me, then this ego will be little less. So how to take care of ego? Think that it's Master's grace, Master's compassion that I have got it. However, yesterday if you heard that Sri Guruji also telling that among all different types of egos, the spiritual ego is the most dangerous ego, which is true also. And we all have to go through those stages. Even I have gone through that, sometimes going very nicely and then subtle spiritual ego is more subtle. It doesn't appear on surface, but it is there and it brings downfall. At any moment it can bring you down from top to bottom, and to again go there, we don't never know, maybe another lifetime. So we should be really careful. Then fourth quality is equanimity. So equanimity is to maintain this sense that all are presence of God. There is a beautiful verse in Bhagavad Gita about equanimity. It is in the 5th chapter, 18th verse. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavi hastini shuni chaiva shupake cha pandita samadarshinaha. A truly learned person with the eyes of divine knowledge see with equal vision a Brahmin, means a priest, a cow, an elephant, a dog and dog eater. These are just examples. That means a realized person or a spiritual seeker should develop this attitude of equal vision. That means not discriminating, to see presence of God in everyone. Same spark of divinity in every living being and thing, that is the quality of maintaining equanimity. Because God has never discriminated. God has created us exactly same as a soul. Where is division? With our own mind we have divided. But as a soul, we are children of God, there is no difference. There is no difference of old soul, new soul, female soul. So there is no discrimination with the soul. So that is the same attitude you have to bring equal vision, equanimity, that even a dog has the same presence of God. In the tree also presence of God, and so on. So how to maintain equanimity? Some tips are given by Sri Guruji to think. Ask some questions to yourself like, do I always feel I must be successful? Do I feel sad and dejected in difficult situations? Because equanimity means to maintain the same state of mind or balance in success and failure is also equanimity. That is also known as the state of yoga. In 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, this definition is given. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Am I constantly looking for recognition and appreciation? If I am looking for that, I am not maintaining equanimity, because that will bring I am better than others. Do I realize winter and summer come in turn, and that sometimes one season lasts longer than the other? Because we also say that it is too cold, it is too hot. So again we are not maintaining equanimity, that we are differentiating. Do I smile even facing difficult challenges? Am I aware that even my mind is disturbed, my efficiency decreases? It is true, when my mind is restless and disturbed, productivity, efficiency decreases. So what to do? Maintain equanimity so that you are in balanced state of mind and your results will be better. Do I know that calmness brings success while restlessness and dejection lead to failure? However, these are the questions. If you ask, you will find the answer, whether you are maintaining equanimity, whether success or failure, heat or cold, in any pairs of opposites in life, to maintain the same state of mind, balanced state of mind, is equanimity. To feel presence of God in each and every living being and thing is equanimity. So this is the fourth quality. So I will stop here because 4 minutes over. the time allotted to me. But this is a very beautiful book where 18 or 20 different values are mentioned. These are the values we have to develop in our life so that we can say that we are real human being. And from humanity to divinity, that is our journey. If we have developed these values, then only we will be divine, otherwise we become devilish. So, I am praying to God, I am praying to all the masters to help us, give us more discipline, more love, to develop these values in our life, to be more divine, to be more disciplined, to be more loving and humble. Let there be no ego, let there be no sadness, suffering in us. Praying for all. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. May all become happy and healthy, loving, noble and compassionate. May there be no suffering, no sorrow. May there be more love, peace and harmony among all of us and in this entire creation. May the blessings of God and Masters be upon us all. Om. Amen. Thank you all. I bow to God in all of you.